AI is everywhere, right? But who's actually making the rules? Well, today we're going to crack open the playbook on AI governance. Think of it as your essential guide for this new AI-driven world. So yeah, let's dive right in. All right, so here's what we've got on tap. First, we're going to look at some, let's call them cautionary tales of AI going off the rails. Then we'll get clear on what AI governance actually is. After that, we'll talk risks versus rewards, lay out a blueprint so you can build your own framework, and figure out who needs to be involved. And to wrap it all up, we'll take a peek at what's coming down the pike for AI regulation. I mean, why does any of this matter so much? Let's start by looking at what actually happens when these incredibly powerful AI systems are let loose with, no guardrails. So what does happen when AI goes wrong? Honestly, this is the question keeping leaders up at night. Because when an AI messes up, it's not just some embarrassing headline. We're talking a real, tangible hit to the bottom line, and maybe even more importantly, to people's trust. Okay, check this out. A tutoring company thought, hey, let's use AI to make our recruiting more efficient. Sounds smart, right? But the AI tool, it quietly learned a hidden bias from all the past hiring data. And the result? It started automatically rejecting older applicants. Just boom, application tossed. This led to a massive $365,000 age discrimination settlement, a total PR nightmare. And it doesn't stop there. How about this one? An airline's chatbot just made something up. It hallucinated, as they say. It told a customer about this great bereavement discount policy, a policy that didn't actually exist. So when the customer tried to use it and the airline said no, it went to court. And the court forced the airline to honor what its own chatbot promised. Look, these aren't just one-off flukes. They're a huge warning sign that AI without rules is a serious liability. Okay, so those stories really paint a picture of the problem, don't they? So what's the answer? Well, that brings us to the solution, which is all about AI governance. So what is it? At its core, AI governance is a set of principles, standards, and practices to manage AI in a way that's reliable, trustworthy, and responsible. You can think of it like the rules of the road for AI. It's the framework that guides how you build and use it, making sure it lines up with your company's values and, keeps you on the right side of the law. And let's be super clear here. This isn't about slowing down progress or killing innovation. It's the exact opposite. Good governance is what actually builds trust. It's how you make sure things are fair, how you make the AI's decisions transparent, and how you protect people's data. Yeah, it keeps you compliant, but believe it or not, this is what fuels responsible innovation. So let's really get into the stakes of getting this right. I mean, what's the actual difference between just letting AI run wild versus putting some thoughtful governance in place? And this slide lays it out perfectly. It really is a tale of two paths. Down one road, the ungoverned AI path, you've got chaos. We're talking losing customer trust, opening up huge security risks, making bad decisions, and just wrecking your brand's reputation. But on the other path, with AI governance, you get improved reliability, you slash your compliance risk, you get clear explainability for what the AI is doing. It's a completely different world. It seems like a pretty clear choice, doesn't it? Okay, so let's say you're convinced. You know you need this. But where do you even begin? Well, let's talk about your governance blueprint and how to build a framework. And look, it's really not as scary as it might sound. It's actually a series of pretty clear steps. Let's walk through it. So here are the steps. Step 1, you establish your core values. Then you define policies and procedures based on those values. Step 3, you create the organizational structures to support it. 4, you build AI fluency and a real culture around it. And finally, step 5, you implement monitoring and risk management. Now, the most important thing to get here is that this is not a one-and-done checklist. It's a living, breathing process. Your values lead to your policies, which shape your teams, which create a culture, which then feeds back into how you monitor things. It's a continuous loop. Let's dig a little deeper into those core values, because these can't just be buzzwords on a wall. When we say fairness, we mean actively looking for bias in your AI systems and getting rid of it. Transparency means you have to be able to explain how the AI got to its decision. And accountability, that means someone, a real person, is responsible for the AI's outcomes. These are absolutely non-negotiable. Which brings us to a crucial point. It takes a village. We've got to talk about the people behind the policy, because a blueprint is just a piece of paper without the right people to bring it to life. And with AI governance, that team is, well, it's pretty much everyone. This can't just be handed off to the IT department or the legal team. It has to be a company-wide effort. And here's a bit of a reality check for you. A recent survey found that about 60% of folks said that limited skills and resources are a major roadblock to their AI success. 60%. That tells you everything you need to know. A fancy policy document sitting on a shelf isn't going to cut it. You have to invest in your people, build up their skills, and create a real culture of what we call AI fluency right from the very beginning. It really is a team sport, and everyone has a position to play. You've got your chief data officer kind of acting as the coach, overseeing the whole data and AI strategy. The business leaders, they're setting the destination. What are we actually trying to achieve here? Then you have your data stewards, who make sure the data, the fuel for the AI, is high quality and trustworthy. Your data scientists are in the trenches, building and validating the models. And of course, you have legal and compliance, making sure everything stays within the legal guardrails. Every single one of these roles is critical, and they all have to work together. Okay, so we've covered why this is important, what it is, and how to build it. For our last section, let's look ahead and talk about governing our AI future. What's coming up next on the horizon? The thing about AI governance is that it's not static. It's always evolving. Today, AI is just becoming a core part of how businesses operate. But in the near future, we're going to see governments all over the world rolling out major regulations, like the big EU AI Act. And then, looking even further out, the future of governance itself will become more automated, more adaptive, almost as smart as the AI it's overseeing, so it can be proactive about managing risk. And really, that's the whole ballgame right there. Finding that perfect balance between pushing forward with incredible AI innovation and at the same time protecting the integrity of our data and our systems. The goal is not to put the brakes on progress. It's to put the right guardrails in place so we can move even faster, but do it responsibly. It's how we build a future where all this amazing AI power is truly a force for good. So, that leaves us with one last question to chew on. AI is here and it's not going anywhere. We've talked a lot about what organizations need to do, but who in your world is responsible for making sure it's used for good? I'll leave you with that. Thanks for tuning in.